How's the ankle, Josh?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Look, it's a little bit sore, but no, it should be fine getting up this week.
What happened?
I think just obviously did a bit of a kick, we were all, I suppose, tussling down in the forward 50, and just a little bit of a knock to the ankle, kind of dropped me a bit, stuck a little bit, but then come off, and I was able to play the rest of the game, so it was fine.
The problem was caused from the incident that led to the report.
Pardon?
The problem, the ankle was caused specifically from the incident that led to the report.
Yeah, I'm not tracking that. So the kick, obviously you had to come off, get it assessed, and then come back on. Yeah. But it was fine for the rest of the game. Yeah.
Training wise this week, you expect to do the main bulk of it?
I'll probably be real light today. I think we train Wednesday, which will be our main session. So I'll kick into it then.
How nice was it to have a win and give people of the Midwest in particular something to smile about?
Yeah, look, it's good to get the win, and a lot of people up north have been struggling a fair bit. It's been quite devastating, especially knowing a lot of people up there and what they're going through. But Kalbarri, Northampton, they're pretty resilient towns, and the community have come together to help each other out a fair bit. And just seeing or hearing some of the stories about families with kids and hiding in bathtubs, mattresses on top of them while their house gets blown down, it's quite chilling. So, but to see them all kind of bounce back, I suppose through the cleanup now, and working together to help each other out. I know the community centre up in Northampton has got a generator going, got some power to that, so they're offering showers and dinners to locals around town. That's probably the biggest thing. There's been no power over the last week and a bit, so a lot of people struggling with that. But there's been a lot of things in place to help, I suppose, get some funds directed up there, and there's a few of us current AFL players and some past AFL players from Northampton who are looking at setting up a relief fund, which will hopefully be released by the end of this week. So we'll be able to, I suppose, raise some money and be able to direct funds directly to people in Kalbarri and Northampton who need it the most. So,
who will that involve?
We're just getting the core group together, but a couple of the past players have organised the fund. So there'll be more details coming, I suppose, the back end of this week. Just getting it all finalised now, but hopefully over the course of the month this year we can raise some money, do some promotions, and get some, I suppose, money that's directed straight towards people who need it the most.
And that's something you guys came up with sort of on your own?
Look, there's I don't know if one of the past players wants to mention his name, but he was the one who's instigated it all, and he's got it off the ground. So it's looking like it'll be launched this week, which is quite exciting. So at least we know, as I suppose, players from that area, that we can help direct some money straight towards the people who need it.
Josh, just clarifying, so when Hayes' family and Cribb's family, the house, did you have any family or friends that were directly affected? Yeah,
so my mum's two sisters are up there, so my auntie's on farm. They lost a fair bit in terms of machinery sheds, and the houses were okay. And then my auntie lives in Northampton in town, so she lost a fair bit of a shed, a roof collapsed in, a lot of trees were uprooted at the front of her place, so they couldn't get out for a few days. But there's a lot of friends and family up there. It looked like a bit of a war zone. I suppose some of the photos coming through, but the town had a bit of a busy bee on Saturday up near the footy club. I suppose the old shearing sheds and the sheep sale sheds kind of got blown down, and it was a bit of a mess. The goalposts up there were snapped, I'm pretty sure. So it got hit pretty hard, but everyone was up there helping clean it up, which was good to see.
How good is it to see someone like Harry Taylor? He mentioned yesterday on the coverage that he try and get up there and play. Mentioned that the goalpost got blew down, but he'd get up there and play over the weekend. How much of a boost would that be for the town? Yeah, it's great.
Harry going back to the town to the footy club has been huge. From all reports from pre-season, with young kids rocking up to training, there's a lot of people coming from Geraldton to want to play at Northampton because Harry's there. So it's fantastic to see. There's a lot of prior to this, I suppose, cyclone in the footy club, there was a lot of drive to get the footy club back up established to where it was years ago, and Harry's a big part of that, which is good to see.
Are you guys the players who are involved in this relief fund? Are you guys any chance of getting up there at any point, or is it just not realistic at the moment.
Hopefully we can, yeah. We've got to work on times and, for us to be able to duck up during the week to maybe do something in between games, depending, we have buys coming up and things like that. For a couple of boys over east, it might be a bit hard, but hopefully we can get up there and do something. If not for the season, then definitely in the off-season there'll be, because it's probably going to take a long time to rebuild those towns. It's probably going to be a good couple of years before anything gets back to normality.
This week, Josh, what's going right at home that you guys want to, I guess, really bottle up and take on the road to get that win on the road?
Well, look, I suppose we've been a bit inconsistent in fourth-quarter efforts. It's probably this year. Been in and out of the game, so making sure that we can be a bit more consistent in I suppose that effort over 4 quarters is something that we'll be working on. I suppose our mids have been pretty good. They've been able to stand up at a lot of time this year. So getting the sync in, I suppose with who's there and some guys who are out, they're really starting to get some chemistry together, which is great. So looking forward to the challenge to getting over there and playing.
Is there a trend sort of within games? I guess Simo mentioned that 4-quarter effort as well. Is it late in games or throughout games that you want to hone in on?
It's not the focus of the whole game, mate. To be honest, like you can have a focus of starting fast, but you might finish real bad, or you come home in the end after a slow start. But to get consistency over 4 quarters is something that we've been a little bit inconsistent at, which is something that hopefully we can get going over the next few weeks.
Liam's injury seems to, from the outside, come out of the blue a bit, and it seems like long term. Did it surprise you when you heard how long he's going to be out for?
Yeah, it was. Actually, just talking to Liam that morning, the day before, obviously had the scan and, get told that, obviously a little stressy in there, and he hadn't really felt much pain until I think last Tuesday. That's what he says. I don't know if he's had it the last few weeks, but no, it was quite surprising, I suppose, to hear it and know that, it's going to be a long time for him not running. But, he's pretty positive with it all, and I have no doubt he'll be back by the back end of the year, and he'll be fit and strong.
Talk to us about Oscar Allen's season so far.
Yeah, mate, I couldn't be more prouder. He's coming into the footy club, I suppose, as a young kid, and I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of young kids come in, and you see him as this raw talent, and then they start to, I suppose, understand the game, understand their body and what they can and can't do, and then they start to, I suppose, have presence within the AFL community, and Oscar's doing that just now, which is quite cool to see. He's worked so hard over the last few pre-seasons on, I suppose, getting better and trying to be the best footballer he can be. And we've been able to see that in games, and which is great. So hopefully Oscar can keep continuing with a consistent form, because he's going to be an exciting player to watch.
And is that forward where you see his future?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He can play anywhere. He can play in the ruck. He can go down back. But if I've got anything to do with it, I think he'll stay forward.
At what point in a young bloke's key forward career do you reckon they start to feel like they can be more than the third tall and push up to playing on the number 1, number 2 defenders and having that extra responsibility?
Yeah. Look. I suppose it's just time, and depends on who's around in that other forward line as well. So look, Oscar will start to, I suppose, develop into one of those players where opposition will have to really start, locking him down, and his talent and his work ethic to become the best, should oversee a lot of that. And look, he's 21, 22. Yeah, so he's got many years. A lot of key forwards probably don't hit their peak until 25, 26, that later part of the 20s, and he's starting to really show some signs now, so it'll be it's pretty cool.
You feel having the 3 of you together is a massive advantage for none of you having to be double teamed and all that sort of stuff. You're permanently creating headaches for whoever you're playing on. Yeah,
well, that's what we try and, I suppose, do as our forward line, is you want to be hard to play on, and I suppose, with having Oscar there now as well, sometimes his talent and ability, can, I suppose, be a lot better than their third or the third tall that needs to take him, or there's definitely a mismatch somewhere along the line with me, Jack and him. So we'll keep trying to isolate those mismatches, whether it's Jack or whether it's Oscar, and utilise them to, I suppose, our ability to hopefully kick some goals and win games.
You look at the accuracy of the three, 42-11 the year is what you're kicking at the moment. Like,
Yep.
Is there a reason? Are you guys working extra hard on your goal kicking, or are you getting the ball in a position where it's hard to miss?
Maybe a little bit of both. I'm not too sure. I couldn't tell you all the spots that we've had our shots from, but no, look, we work pretty hard on goal kicking. It's a big thing in the AFL that's obviously heightened a lot of missed shots from easy positions, but every shot, no matter where you are, is pretty hard, whether you're right in front or whether you're out 50 metres out in the angle. They're both as hard as each other, and being able to practice our training, we get a fair bit of time, so we've got our routines in place, and it's something that I suppose Oscar's been able to do over the course of the last few years, is get a routine in place where he practices his goal kicking, and me and Jack have, I suppose, been steady for a few years on what we need to do, but sometimes we have to pull Oscar back because he's out there having bloody 200 shots, which is probably not good for his leg.